Next up, we've looked at Enya Craft. We've looked at Hecaton Share, I think was the name of the fusion archetype. Now we have the last one, and this was just revealed this morning. Killer Tune is the Synchro archetype from Phantom Revengers. And let's see if this is good. Because so far, I mean, Hecaton Share and Enya Craft, honestly, I felt like both of them were cool and unique, but both are uncertain whether they're actually going to be meta or not. Let's see if Killer Tune gives us another contender. Killer Tune Mix. Level 2 Wind Warrior Tuner. 100 attack, 2000 defense. If this card on the field would be used as synchro material, one tuner in your hand can be used as one of the other materials. Oh, itself is a tuner. Okay, so I'm assuming the synchros need multiple tuners then? I mean, it is called Killer Tune. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. If this card is normal or special, you can add a Killer Tune monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand, except a level 2 monster. If this card is sent to the grave as a synchro material, you can target a monster your opponent controls, destroy it. Okay, we're kicking things off with a 1-card synchro, right? Because normal summon, add a Killer Tune, and then you can use that Killer Tune in hand as the material, and then you can also pop a card if you're going second. Solid start, but does depend on the other cards to see how good that is. Killer Tune Clip. Level 2 Dark Thunder Tuner. If this card on the field would be used as synchro material, a tuner in your hand can be used as one of the other materials. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. During your opponent's main phase, quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hand, then immediately after this effect resolves, you can synchro summon a tuner. If this card is sent to the grave as synchro material, you can banish a random face down card from your opponent's extra deck. Is this... Wait, okay, the way this is worded, this is banished... It banishes a random face down card, but the card is banished face up, right? It just means the face down here refers to the card before it's banished, right? Like you can't banish like a face up pendulum. Okay. I mean, this is very much in line with a lot of modern Yu-Gi-Oh decks from 2025. They will give these in-engine interaction on turn 0, which I think is good. I personally am a fan of this. I like this. I'm not sure how I feel about this secondary effect, because this is going to be like irrelevant, let's say 80% of the time, and then it's going to be like super annoying 20% of the time. Like, I don't know, you're playing a deck that really relies on one extra deck monster, and then it's random as well. So like they shuffle your deck and like 1 out of 15 and they just take your whatever. It could be very annoying. Yeah. At least it's not banished face down. At least it's banished face up, so maybe you can get it back in some decks. But yeah, okay. Alright. Also, potentially, I mean, if the other ones also have effects in the graveyard, right? Like if you combine Clip with Mix, I don't know if there's a synchro for that, but hypothetically, if you synchro summon with Clip and Mix on your opponent's turn 1, you get a pop, you get a random extra deck banish, and you get whatever the monster does, the synchro monster, right? So that's okay. It's a good start, honestly. Killer Tune Rekko, level 3 Fire Fiend. If this card on the field would use a synchro, one tuner in your hand. Okay, they seem to all have this synchro summon in hand kind of thing. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name once per turn. If this is normal or special, add a Killer Tune monster from your deck or grave to your hand, except the level 3. If this card's sent to the grave as synchro material, target a spell trap your opponent controls, destroy it. Okay. We have... Wait, this is all the main deck monsters? Aw. They're missing one? Oh, okay. Okay. Because I was about to say, like, honestly, these cards read very strong, but there's no way. This is because this is like, they need more monsters, basically. But okay, they're good cards for sure. They're good cards. Let's read the synchros. Killer Tune Trackmaker. Level 4 Synchro needs a Killer Tune tuner and tuners. Okay, so I assume all the Synchros are made with just tuners. If this card on the field would be used as Synchro material, a tuner in your hand can be used as one of the other materials. You can only use the first and second effect once per turn. If this card is special summoned, you can add a Killer Tune card from your deck to your hand. If this card is sent to the grave as Synchro material, you can return a card your opponent controls to the hand. Okay, the level 4 one is the one that you could be making with Clip and Mix. However, this one is not an interruption by itself, right? That means if you Synchro Clip and Mix, you get a random extra deck banish, a pop, and a search. Which is not a bad turn 0 play, to be honest. Yeah, but Mix cannot search Clip, that's true. Okay, alright. Killer Tune Remix. Level 5, Killer Tune Mix. Oh, it needs Killer Tune Mix. Which one was that again? Mix was the first one. This one is Mix. Okay. This one needs Mix and a tuner. You can only use the second effect once per turn. Gains 1500 attack while your opponent has a tuner on their field or in their grave. During your opponent's turn, quick effect, you contribute this card. Take 2 non-synchro tuners from your grave. Add one of them to your hand. And if you do, special summon the other. Then, immediately after this resolves, you can synchro summon a tuner. Okay, this is cool. I love these sort of like tag out effects where you tag out into 2 others and then take 2 non-synchro tuners, add one of them, search them the other. Yeah, it's cool because you can add back Ash, Bell, Ghost Ogre or whatever, and just take them back to your hand, and then but then not synchro with it, right? Okay. Killer Tune Red Seal needs Killer Tune Rico plus a tuner. You can only use the third effect. Gains 300 attack for each tuner. There's a lot of synchros. The levels of monsters your opponent controls with 17 or less original attack are increased by 1. Okay. During the main phase, this is crazy against Yummy, by the way. During the main phase, quick effect, you can banish a tuner from your grave, then target a face-up card your opponent controls, negate its effects until the end of this turn. Okay, that's good. Then we have Killer Tune Loudness War. You can only use the second effect once per turn. Other tuners can't be destroyed by card effects. Also, your opponent cannot target them with card effects. This one's level 6. When your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, you can banish a Killer Tune monster from your grave. Apply its effects that activates if sent to the grave as synchro material. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, you can banish multiple cards from their extra deck potentially. You can pop another monster. You can pop another spell. Okay. What I'm wondering right now. Oh no, this was the one they showed in the announcement picture, right? Red Seal was the one that was announced, basically. Yeah. I was wondering where that one was. Okay. Okay, let's read the spells. Killer Tune Synchro. Quick play spell. You can only activate 2 cards with this card's name per turn. You cannot special for the rest of this turn after this card resolves except tuners. Also, add a Killer Tune card from your deck to your hand, except Killer Tune Synchro. Then, immediately after this effect resolves, you can synchro summon a tuner. Oh. Oh, this card is good. This is cool. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is a Rhoda with crazy benefits, right? Because it's not only is it a quick play spell, but it's also not once per turn, it is twice per turn. And it lets you quick synchro on the opponent's turn. Ooh, okay. No, I vibe with this card. This card is nice. I'm a fan of the lock. I'm very much similar to Eniacraft. I really like that, like, these archetypes lock pretty harshly, you know, like only summon tuners for the rest of the turn. I think is healthy on this one because it's a good card. It's a good card. Okay, we have Juke joined Killer Tune. Field spell. You can only use the third effect of this card's name once per turn. During your main phase, you can normal summon a tuner in addition to your normal summon. Okay. Killer Tune Loudness War you control gains 3,300 attack while your opponent has a tuner on their field or in their grave. You contribute a tuner, add to your hand, or special summon a Killer Tune from your deck. Also, you cannot special summon for the rest of this turn except tuners. This is, I think, the worst card I've read so far. Simply because it doesn't do anything on its own. It gives you a second normal summon, sure. It can boost your Loudness War, which one is that? This one. Yeah, okay. And then you can, it's kind of like, it gives you like the Lone Fire Blossom thingy, right? Do not hand trap this deck. Yeah, I mean, if you ash this deck, their boss monster is just 3,300. But yeah, it's okay. It does unbreak. Yeah, it can be a starter if you like draw like only Ash Blossom or something like that, right? So, yeah. Killer Tune Playlist. Normal Trap. You can only activate 2 cards with this card's name per turn. Target a Killer Tune you control on your grave. Apply these effects in sequence. Also, you cannot special summon for the rest of this turn except tuners. Target a Killer Tune you grave. Apply its effects that activate if sent to the grave as synchro material. Return it to the hand. I mean, okay, it's a neat card if you use it on something in your grave because you get to add it back to your hand and you get to apply the effect. It's a neat card. Unfortunately, it's a trap card. I think they could have easily made this a quick play spell. I'm gonna be honest with you. That would have been way better. But yeah. Okay. What are they trying to do here? You have like your little main deck monsters that are all tuners, and they can combine with each other because you only need tuners for the synchros. And so you're just trying to synchro summon. You can always use material from your hand to keep synchro summoning. And all of them have effects when they're sent to grave as synchro material. So one major part of this deck is you're trying to synchro summon on the opponent's turn so that you can get these effects on their turn as well. And you can interrupt that way, right? And what the forms of interruption that we have are we can destroy a monster, which, keep in mind, in theory, we could do this multiple times, depending on how well we can set up, right? Because we could use it, we can synchro it off, get the effect. Then we can copy the effect with the synchro. It was this one, right? You can copy the effect with the synchro, and you can copy the effect with the trap as well. So you can get these effects up to 3 times, depending on, is this once per turn? Once per turn, yeah. So you can copy these effects multiple times, which, especially with the extra deck banish, could be pretty annoying, you know? Like, if you can keep repeating this, eventually your opponent is gonna run out of extra deck options. The problem is, can you survive long enough until you've done that, right? Maybe not. You also have spell trap removal, which is neat. And you have a very, very powerful quick play Rhoda plus quick synchro card, which I think is really, really good. I think this deck looks fun, personally. I think it's missing more main deck monsters. Look at the reprints. The overtake spell is crazy in this deck. Okay. Synchro overtake. Synchro overtake. Synchro overtake. Reveal a Synchro in your extra deck. Choose one of the Synchro materials mentioned on it. Add to your hand or special summon that monster from your deck to your grave. Also, you can't special from the extra deck except Synchros. You can only activate one Synchro over there. Oh, okay. Because the Synchros mention Reco and Mix. You can just special summon both of these with... Yeah, okay, that's neat. Okay. That way, we can get more access to these cards. Because right now, one of my main problems is we only have 9 main deck monsters. Right? We only have 9 main deck monsters, and we only have 1 Rhoda spell, which means we only have 12 of these cards, right? We have 12 of these cards. I guess with this, you can get the number up to 15. And I'm sure you can play some other starters, potentially. The problem is, one of the strongest and most unique things about this deck at the moment, I think, is Killer Tune Clip. Killer Tune Clip being able to synchro summon on your opponent's turn 1 is the one thing that I would say makes this deck interesting over other decks. Because it doesn't seem like, so far, it doesn't seem like it makes crazier end boards than other decks, or, is better at breaking boards than other decks, for example. But this is a really good card. I think this is the star of the deck so far, because this is the one that's also a hand trap if you can play enough other tuners, right? So I'm a little confused because so far they gave us more synchros than actual main deck monsters, which is a little weird. We have 3 main deck monsters but 4 synchros, which is a little odd. Maybe we'll get more. But it seems fun. I like it. I like the idea of this deck. I think it's cool. I like that it doesn't seem too broken. It just seems good. I don't know. I vibe with it. Yeah, I vibe with it. I think it's cool. The other main deck monsters are Veilers and Ghost. Yeah, I mean, you can pair it very well with all of the Ghost Sisters because they're all level 3 tuners, so they allow to go into the level 5 synchros, which is good, right? Like if you have, for example, you have Clip plus, but then you have to like synchro away your hand trap instead of using it. You know what I mean? Like if you use Clip plus Ash to synchro, yeah, okay, I can do that, but then I can't use my Ash Blossom, right? It's 19 starters with Stone Sweeper and Rhoda, up to 22 with Genesis. Okay, what does Duelist Genesis do? Yeah, okay. If you have a tuner on your field or in your grave, add a synchro spell trap from your deck to your hand. You can only activate duel. Okay, so this can search the spell card because it's called Killer Tune Synchro. But you do need a tuner already. But yes, technically it's true. You can use that. It's not a terrible idea, I think, but yeah. Yeah, Overtake is good. Overtake is definitely good. This is 7th Ascension. No, it's not. This is in some ways worse than 7th Ascension. In some ways, it's better. Because it searches a really good card without going -1. But it does have an activation condition. So it's not like a starter. But it's a really good extender. It's different than 7th Ascension. For sure. Stone Sweeper. Oh, the Earthbound. Right. You can discard this card, add a level 3 or lower Fiend tuner from your deck to your hand. So you can add Reco with that. Okay, sure. Yeah. The problem is, I think, with playing like Synchro Overtake, Duelist Genesis, Earthbound Prisoner, Stone Sweeper. That works. You can play all of those cards to get more starters. So yes, the deck is probably going to be consistent enough. The problem is, by adding more and more consistency cards to this deck, what are you doing, right? You are more consistently doing what? Right? You are more consistently doing like a pop and like one or a couple extra deck banishes and a spell trap pop. It's I think like what this deck would need in order for me to actually think it'll be a good deck is like I need one or two more actual killer tune monsters that I can cycle through every turn, right? More effects that I can go through, more like actually like maybe one or two more interactions on the opponent's turn. I think that's what I would want for this deck, but it's a cool concept. I like it. And with that, we've looked at all of the archetypes from Phantom Revengers. What do we think, chat? I think it looks not as good as Justice Hunters, but I'm going to be honest with you. It's going to be a long time until they make a deck build pack that is as good as Justice Hunters. Justice Hunters is crazy. Personally, I think all three archetypes from this deck build pack have one thing in common, and that is that they are very unique. And I think that's cool. I think all three of these archetypes are unlike most things we've seen in Yu-Gi-Oh so far. I mean, Enea Craft is super unique. I even thought Hecaton Share is like, it looked interesting. And Killer Tune also, like that partially that makes these decks hard to evaluate because they work pretty differently from previous decks. But I think that's what makes these interesting. I think they are across the board interesting card design. All three of them, honestly, disregarding whether they're going to be top meta or not, all three of these decks seem fun to play, but they also seem like fine to play against. Like nothing here. There's no like super toxic deck here. I think at first glance at least. I like this deck build pack. I think it looks fun. Not as powerful as Justice Hunters, because I think Justice Hunters has like the perfect mix of power and fun. This one is first impression a little bit more on the fun side and a little less powerful, but maybe it's still good enough, and then it'd be really cool.